Hey gardeners, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have a couple garden projects I want to go ahead and get done today. And so one of the main ones we'll be doing today is a tree removal. So something that here in gardening that we come to realize is that we might grow certain plants that we might not like or might not enjoy in the garden. And something that have learned is if you don't like it, remove it or replace it, because it's not really good for you to spend more time, labor, and materials on a plant you won't enjoy on the long run. In this case, this tree behind me, right there, that is a Jamaican strawberry tree. I've had it in my garden for around 2 years now. It grew rapidly quickly, and the tree is the tallest tree and the biggest tree in my garden right now, and it's taking up a lot of space. So two main points that why I want to remove it. One is because it has fruited already, but I'm not a huge fan of the fruit. It's really seedy and I'm not a huge seed person, and the fruits tend to be tiny, so there's not huge. Although the fruit tree produces hundreds of them at a time, I still am not a huge fan of the flavor nor the texture of the fruit. Number two is I'm starting to notice that the tree is starting to send runners through roots, and that is never a good thing because they can go ahead and spread like wildfire when that starts happening. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it. It's going to go by pieces, and then I have a birdie's raised bed that I want to put in its place, because a lot of these trees that I'll be removing in my garden slowly by slowly that have not produced or are not my favorite flavor or taste of the fruit will be starting to replace with some raised beds, as I want to plant some organic veggies in their place. So I'm going to go ahead and initiate, and let's go ahead and start cutting this tree piece by piece. It's going to take me a pretty good time, so let's go ahead and jump and get started. So everyone, this one is a progress report. So the tree is looking very bare now. We're about like halfway there. We took down the bottom branches, and I'm starting to work on the top portion. The lighting's not that good because it seems to be we're going to receive a storm. I also decided to go ahead and cut back the peanut butter fruit tree. I decided because it was getting really big, and especially since I want to fit a raised bed right here, that requires me to cut this back, and hopefully once it starts regrowing soon, because this one's a fast grower, once it starts regrowing I will train it to be more of an upright tree. But it was kind of more flatter due to the fact that it was shaded by this tree. So I'm gonna bring you back along for when we have another report or when this tree is finally out. The tree has been cut. And something I could definitely say about the Jamaican strawberry tree is that it is definitely a difficult tree to cut down. So this is the top portion right here. The stems are very thick, so I would definitely say that if you would need a tree for what it calls shading, or just need a good tree to put like under a outdoor sitting area, this is definitely a great tree for that. But in a small setting, like a small gardening setting like mine's, I would not recommend it. It is a huge tree, and definitely if it's been growing even for like 2 years, which this tree is 2 years old, it takes a work out of you, because that's branches over there, there's branches over there, then this top portion, and yet we left this stump here. So when it comes down to the stump, I have kind of mixed feelings about it. I did want to remove it completely. However, I feel like this would be a good spot to put some orchids. I definitely feel like it could definitely work with it. Of course, that means we would have to end up killing the tree because it grows by runners. You can see there's a baby right there that's growing. And so I definitely don't want this tree multiplying, but I definitely feel like I can make use of this trunk. Now, when it comes down to the raised bed, I'm planning to uplift the peanut butter fruit tree, move it somewhere else in the garden, and place the raised bed in this area. it has opened up to way more sunlight, so it would receive 5 to 6 plus hours of direct sunlight, and it's the perfect fitting and the perfect size to fit the raised bed, and it's in the front of the garden, so I think it's a perfect plan. So first things first, I gotta remove this huge trunk out of the way, so I gotta move it over there, and then once I do that, we'll move on to uplifting the peanut butter fruit and moving it somewhere else, and then we'll go ahead and work on the raised bed. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have a change of plans. So since the tree has been removed, there will be so much sun exposure in this area that this will be technically considered a full sun area. And as we all know, orchids are partial sun shady plants. So if I put orchids on this stump, they will burn. Now, the only plant I can put up here would be a Vanda, which they do good in full sun. Some of them do good in full sun areas. So I'm gonna attempt growing a Vanda on this, and that would look gorgeous, especially if it fills it up nicely. However, I already went ahead and took off the mini branches and the leaves from this. We're gonna cut it below. Let me go ahead and switch the camera around so you can see a better view. This is what we want to use. So we're planning to cut it right there where I made those marks and use this top portion for orchids, because this structure would look so nice if we put orchids on it. We're going to cut it and we're going to move it over there underneath that mango tree where it will be shaded and it will be a nice area where orchids could grow. However, since it's a very thick trunk, we're looking for a handsaw, so we're going to go ahead and cut that part, and then we're going to move this, and then we're going to go ahead and start working on our project, and we're going to uplift this peanut butter fruit, move it somewhere else, and then we'll move that birdie's raised bed garden right here. So we went ahead and already removed the big trunk. We already went ahead and transplanted the peanut butter tree. So let me go ahead and show you. Peanut butter tree was transplanted right here. I took off the Mahoy hibiscus that was here. It wasn't really doing much. It wasn't variegated, so it really didn't do much. So I decided to remove it. So the trunk is removed here, and this leaves the perfect space for the birdie's raised bed. So let's move it, and let's go ahead and discuss about what we'll be doing with it and what we'll be planting in it. So here it is. So this is the birdie's raised bed. If you are interested in getting one, make sure to use my code, the Ultimate Gardener, to get a 5% discount on your entire order. Now, the good thing about these raised beds is that they are very durable. They're metal. And so they also have this contraption in the middle where it will keep the raised bed stabilized. So what to do next? So now it's time to go ahead and fill it up. I'll be putting a layer of cardboard in the bottom and then using the same leaves of the tree we just cut down. I'm going to fill up about half of it and then the rest of it with soil. Then we're going to talk about amendments and then what will be planted in this raised bed this growing season. So I am sweating bullets. So the soil I had did not fill up the raised bed as much as I wanted it to. So I'm going to actually go to the store and go get a few more bags so then it could be well filled up so that the plants could grow better. So I'll be back once I get the bags of soil. So here's how the area is looking so far. There's the tree stump. I added a Vanda just in case it takes. So I have the raised bed here. I filled it up with some material. I got the soil I needed. So this is what we'll be planting today. So I have some purple tomatillo seeds right here from Plant Good Seed, an amazing company. It is a small business, but their seeds are high quality and they sell them at a great price for the quantity of seeds that they come in. So since I'm a huge fan of tomatillos and my family, we use it a lot in the kitchen. I did grow tomatillos once and I had a phenomenal yield come from them. So I decided why not do it again this growing season. So then I also have the plant tag. Always make sure you label your plants because although you might remember them, it's always better to be safe than sorry. So I'm planning to fill this entire bed with these seeds as I want a huge harvest from them this year. So we're going to plant this whole bed up with that. So let's go ahead and do that. So gardeners, I went ahead and watered very well this raised bed. Something I highly recommend is whenever you finish planting, whether it be seeds or seedlings or transplants, you need to water your raised bed. Something when it comes down to raised bed gardening is that they will be relying on what you provide to them, nutrients, sun, as well as watering. So when it comes down to raised bed gardening, make sure you place it in an area that suits the plants you'll be planting. For example, in my case, This bed will be used for veggies and fruiting vines, like pumpkins and watermelons, and those are all full sun loving plants. So you need to put the raised bed in a full sun area. However, if you're growing plants that don't require so much sunlight, then you could plant it in a little, or place the raised bed in a little bit of shade, but majority of the time they're in full sun locations. Number two is to make sure you mix in some type of starter feed into the soil, whether it be earthworm castings, or if you have a biostarter fertilizer, that works great as well. I kind of lean more towards earthworm casting since it's organic and is best for food growing or growing your own food. Number three is their watering schedule. If you have an irrigation system set with your raised bed, it's all good to go. You have your scheduled time and you don't need to worry about it. However, my garden is on a irrigation system, so it gets watered only a little bit throughout the season. So I have to go ahead and add supplemental watering by hand, which I don't mind at all. If not, it gives me some type of peace to be out here in the garden. So definitely make sure you have a set watering schedule. So I am super happy with the outcome of this project. We removed the Jamaican strawberry tree. It was a huge hassle. It took us, so to put it in perspective, I woke up at 8, and from 8 all the way to 12 is when we finished the removal of the tree, and it's not fully removed. I want to kind of leave the stump there to see if the Vanda will continue growing there, but we freed up this space. I moved the raised bed here. We planted it up. We moved the peanut butter fruit tree. Everything seems so great now. There's way more space, there's way more aeration, but that is more to come. There's way more to come. There's a couple fruit trees that I do want to remove because either they haven't produced or I don't like the fruit in general. So make sure you stay tuned with us. Leave in the comment section down below, have you removed a tree, and what tree was it that you removed and why you removed it? Also, if you're growing in raised beds right now, let me know what you're growing and harvesting in your gardens. Make sure to leave a like under this video and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Thank you all so much for watching this video. May God bless you and your entire family, and never forget to grow big, ultimate gardeners. Bye everyone.